to the Robert Guertin Arena in Hall, Quebec. I'm Dan Gallagher, and we're at the home of the Hall Olympics for some World League indoor volleyball, a very special edition of the Big Spike. Brazil versus Canada. The Brazilian fans are pumped, the Canadian fans are pumped, and a guy who's always pumped and ready for action is my good pal, Brendan Connor. Brendan, take it away.
All right, thanks, Dan. World League Volleyball once again, Brazil and Canada once again. And joining me on the broadcast again is Charles Parkinson, a veteran of international volleyball, former captain of our national team. Last time we saw these two clubs in World League play, Canada kind of folded up and lost. What do they have to do differently this time to beat Brazil?
Well, there was a few things that they did wrong the other time we saw them play. A lot of missed serves. And then rally point, if you miss a serve, it scores a point. 6 or 7 points a set they gave up. The other thing was errors. Made a lot of errors, and it's when they made them, which was at the end of the set. So if they can eliminate those things, they'll do all right.
Now, in that first match, we saw Brazil hitting from the right side an awful lot and kind of exploiting Canada. And the guy that was doing all the hitting, the guy to watch for in this match, is Max.
Yeah, well, you know what's interesting, because Max started the match with 3 balls out of bounds, but they kept going to him. He worked his way back in, and he gave Canada nightmares on that right side. So we're going to have to see an adjustment in the block.
Now, for Canada, the guy to watch is the guy that's doing the quarterbacking out there, the setter, number 8, Scott Koski from the University of Manitoba.
Well, the book on Scott Koski is that he has improved so much over the last year, and he is the quarterback. He's the guy that calls all the plays for the athletes. They run their patterns. He determines who gets it, so he has to be very sharp.
Well, it should be interesting. The environment is great here. Lots of Brazilian fans. Great atmosphere here in Hull. And World League Volleyball, Brazil and Canada, coming right up. You're watching a special indoor edition of the Big Spike on CTV Sportsnet and Outdoor Life. And just ahead, Canada duels it out of the net with the number 4 ranked team in the world, Brazil.
Attention, folks. We need to lighten the plane. Any volunteers?
These hands have worked, created, played, and loved, each in their own unique way. At Nokia, we've discovered that technology can be inspired with a human touch, which is why for every hand, there's a Nokia. Nokia.
Mrs. Whitman. Oh, wait, come on. I'm scared. Everyone, let's encourage Jimmy to unleash the beast within.
He's been coaching volleyball. And at the other bench, of course, Garth Fischke, one of the great names synonymous with volleyball success in Canada. 20 seasons at the University of Manitoba, 7 CIE awards, coaching the national team since 1997, and has sent 28 of his Manitoba Bison athletes on to the national program. And, Charles Parkinson, Garth Fischke really does have quite a career in volleyball.
Absolutely, and you know, the thing about Garth is that he gives everybody a winning spirit and the confidence to actually pull off the upset victory.
Very focused man, you know, you talk to him and he's always very serious, hardly cracks a smile. I guess when you're in international volleyball with the elite, as Canada is, in the top 12 right now, and playing against some of the best teams in the world, you've got to be pretty focused if you don't want to be embarrassed.
Well, that's right, and you know, Canada has pulled upsets. They beat Cuba in Cuba. Never, ever, ever been done before. In fact, 2 teams in the world can go into Cuba and beat Cuba. It meant that Cuba had to beat Mexico in a playoff just to qualify for the World Championship.
And of course, Canada did well at those World Championships in Japan last fall. They started out seeded 19th or 20th, according to a couple different polls, and moved all the way up to 12th. They could have moved up quite a bit more. Here's the man who directs the Brazilian squad. They call him Leferi. Brazilian sportsmen most often do go by one single name. Big Brazilian contingent here in the National Capital Region. They have come across the river from Ottawa and shown up at the Hull venue, the hockey arena where the Hull Olympics play. And they are whooping it up as their national volleyball team is introduced.
And the fans, Brazilian fans around the world, you just can't say enough about them.
Always a party.
Volleyball, it's like having a seventh man out there. They can really inspire players to go beyond what they would normally be able to do.
There's Gustavo, the man voted the best blocker in the world at the World Championships last fall. Was about 6'8", of German descent.
And Brazil came out a little bit flat in the very first set of the last match that was played. And I think they were a little surprised by Canada's tenacity. I expect that they are going to come out full-blown in this match. It's very, very warm in this arena. They love to play in a warm atmosphere. In fact, in training leading up to this match, they thought it was too cold and asked for the heating to be turned on.
There's the big banger for Canada. Paul Jordan, the kid who made it out of high school to the national team. David Cantor, who played at Queen's University, now plays pro in Spain. He'll be starting at middle. Gino Brosso gets a nice hand because he is a Quebec boy. He'll be starting at power. Bruce Edwards from Calgary. Played the libero spot in the first match we saw, but he's going to be starting in the front row. And big Jason Haldane from Paris, BC, is the captain at the World Championship. 28 years old, he is a big banger as well. And Scott Kosky, the setter, the man who quarterbacks the team, and the man wearing the C for these matches against Brazil. He is the captain. And he will handle most of the on-floor organization, telling people where to go with those signals. We're all set for Brazil and Canada. So we're all set to start. Now correct me if I'm wrong here, Charles. Canada has not dressed a libero in this alignment. The libero, if you don't know, is one of the new rules in international volleyball. They go with rally point scoring up to 25, and you can score therefore without having to serve. And you have a libero, a sort of a defensive passing specialist. We saw it in the first match that Canada has not designated a libero in this one.
Yes, what happened was that Andy Zorowski came down after a back row attack on Jason Haldane's foot. He turned his ankle. Bruce Edwards is the other power hitter. Now they've elected not to go with a libero, which means that they can use Bruce in the power hitting role for Andy.
Jason Haldane banging that one down for the first point of the match. Canada leads 1-0 as Gino Russo goes back to serve. There you see the Brazilian libero, TJ, doing the passing. But Canada digs that one up, and Haldane swinging from the back row with a big blast, and it's 2-0 for Canada. Haldane back to serve it up and try to win it for Canada. 24-23, first set. Serve. On the block. Big swing over there from Hoel. Sheridan got some forearms on it, but couldn't keep it in. So 24 all. This is rally point to 25, but you have to win by 2.
That's a massive attack that time. Cantor late getting over and too much power on that ball.
Gino Brosso with a big swing out there and pounds it down. Canada leads 25-24.
Gino set up that time by Dave Cantor. He went in for that very quick attack. The ball was set just above his head. Russo with no mistake.
We love doing that here at home in Quebec too. Scott Kosky to serve for the win now. Brazil continues to go to the outside. They blocked it and it went off the knee of the hitter, Hoel. So that is a victory for Canada, 26-24. What an interesting final point there.
Well, you take them any way you can. Russo on the block that time. Outside hand turned in. Off the player's leg, out of bounds. And that scores the win for Canada. Big, big first set.
It's the Big Spike on CTV Sportsnet and Outdoor Life. And up next, we get Charles to serve up some serving tips on this week's edition of The Clinic.
What stands between you and your goal? Will you give into it? Or fight through it? Will you fear it? Or embrace it? Will you hold back? Or hold nothing back? When you need that little something extra, will it be there? Gatorade helps provide energy to working muscles. Is it in you?
These hands have worked, created, played, and loved, each in their own unique way. At Nokia, we've discovered that technology can be inspired with a human touch, which is why for every hand, there's a Nokia. Nokia, connecting people.
Attention, folks. We need to light the flame. Any volunteers?
A whole lot can happen out of the blue. So that's worth it.
The Win, world-class thoroughbred action. The place, Edmonton's Northlands Park. The show, the horses at Northlands Park on CTV Sportsnet. Join Roger Millions and our expert team of analysts as some of the best fillies in the biz tear up the track. Your best bet, the horses at Northlands Park. Get your mind racing. Tomorrow on CTV Sportsnet.
In international volleyball at the World League level, the serve is not just the way to start the play. It's very much a weapon, and Canada has used it well, as have other teams. Charles is going to demonstrate a couple of different kinds of serves that we're seeing, starting with the ones with the big speed and the big spin.
Right. Well, it's the spin serve. And the first one we're going to look at is the big jump spike serve, lots of power. Basically, what the players are going to do is stand at the back of the court, move forward, toss the ball up. Some of them toss it very high, some a little bit lower, but the object is to reach up as high as you can and beat the pants off that ball. You get some top spin, but you also get side spin and you try to hit it deep. It's a very effective weapon.
Now, on the other hand, one that takes the pace off it a little bit is kind of the float serve, and two ways of doing that. We've seen a lot of that from the Canadian team. I know Scott Coffey uses it, Bilodeau.
Right. Yeah, Francois Bilodeau stands in another time zone when he starts to do his float serve, and he does that so that he can put more pace on the ball. The object is to hit the ball center back of the ball so you can take the spin off it. What that does is it makes the ball dance like a knuckleball as it comes towards you. Bilodeau, you got lots of heat. With Koski, he does a jump float, which changes the angle. So it's coming down at your knees. You've got to get lower, and for big guys, that's real tough.
One of my favorite portions here on the Big Spike is Ask Ort, a chance where we get to ask a volleyball expert a serious question about volleyball. And with me, as always, is Ort Stanko, volleyball expert and former used car salesman. Ort, most people watching the Big Spike are familiar with the Pro Beach League, the stuff we do out on the beach, but now we're indoors, we're playing this World League game. How does it differ from the Pro Beach game?
Hey, Dan, that is an excellent observation because there is a significant difference. In the indoor game, the FIVB this year has adopted a new scoring system. The scoring system
All right, Ort, thank you very much. That was wonderful. An excellent observation, as always. Back to more on the Big Spike.
My pleasure.
Dave Chander back in serve at 35 all. Seems an odd score for volleyball, but this is rally point. Canada with a great block there as Durden and Haldane combine to slam the Brazilian Captain Dalbert.
Good block from Haldane. He's late closing over, so he's going to change the angle of his hands a little bit. These hands are back. All you want to try to do is soft block or reject that ball, get it up in the air, it goes back into the Brazilian court.
Advantage Canada once again, 36-35. Canada serving. Serving error ties it up again, 36 all. Can't miss the serves in rally point. Supposed to be to 25, we're already at 36 all. Ricardo, the Brazilian setter with a service error. 37-36 for Canada. Now Durden, who's a big banger. Back to serve it up to try to claim this set. Up serve, Pasto, and Wells swinging away. Great cross-court hit by the big guy on the power side.
That's going at light speed. That's a really big hit.
Well, the Brazilians can really bang. He showed us that in warm-up. They're the warm-up kings. Banging them down so hard, they sometimes hit the roof. Speaking of big bangs, there's one right there from Haldane. Brazilians can't handle it, so
Referee calls that a carried ball.
back to a 38-37 lead for Canada. Edwards will put it in play. Canada shut the door here. No. Giba goes off the block. Ties it up again.
Brazil's very patient, you know. They don't beat themselves. They really make you earn their victories. They're very, very solid on the outside.
Gustavo serving now. Goes to the floater. No block roll. Booms one down, and you hear the crowd here in Hull appreciating one of their own. You know, from Quebec City. Rolls it down the line.
Canada using a lot more line hits, but you see how Haldane throws Douglas in the middle.
Canada up by one. The big serve from Haldane. A long, high match. Again, 5 sets, 39-39. Canada has missed 3 in the second set. Brazil has had 7 serving errors. Oh well. Big jump serve, and it's an ace. He ripped it down the middle. The Canadians caught looking at each other. Brazil goes up 40-39 on the 8th by well. Once again, Canada passes it. Russo off the block and in. Ties things up again. Boy, Gino Russo is really showing his experience and is playing much better than we saw him in the first match.
Yeah, he sure is. And you know, he'll never beat a block clean. He's always going for the arms, always swinging for a hand.
40-40. Boy, the Brazilian setters know that Noel is on his game, whether it comes to serving or swinging, and now he's on the right side, and they're going to the right side. He banks one in for another point. 41-40 Brazil.
When you're hot, you got to ride the hot hand. Good setters will always do that.
Russo banging off the block again. Another point for Canada. He's tied it up. 41-41. Boy, this is a long, drawn-out set. You wonder what this kind of toll this is going to take as we move later into the evening.
See both coaches standing up now. One of the new rules, they're allowed to stand up.
Face the sidelines like basketball coaches. Go back to Joel. He drills it. It's picked up by Canada, but a free ball put over. He does go. Now Bear swinging and let go out of bounds. They call a touch at the net. The Canadians celebrating, but they didn't fool the referee. Give the point to Brazil, 42-41.
Now they're very strong on the outside.
Now it's back to Douglas to serve, the big guy who's given Canada trouble with his jump floater. Still leading. Chance to close it out. And that swing is in, and that is Bruce Edwards, who bounds across court and then gestures to the Brazilians.
You know, it's amazing. These linesmen have to be right on with these attacks because that ball is hit so hard and so fast.
42 all. Dave Campbell back to serve. Floater. Ooh, the Brazilian setter had to get way down on the dash. Canada mixed up communication on the other side. And a freebie for Brazil. It should have been a free ball for Canada. 43-42. Brazil leads.
Well, that was a suspect set. You know, you can get away with that when you're world champion. A weaker team, and that would have been called. That's the second time Canada's had a bit of a miscue on a transition opportunity.
take that with his hand, secures with a swing, and it is too long. Give the set, the long drawn set to Brazil, 44-42. They had trouble with that serve, and now it is 1-1 in sets in this very entertaining volleyball, World League Volleyball on TTV Sportsnet and Outdoor Life.
Stick around. Coming up with a chat with Canada's Bruce Edwards. Not many people know how to say it, but this guy knows how to play it. Life as a libero when we come back.
Attention, folks. We need to flight the plane. Any volunteers?
These hands have worked, created, played, and loved, each in their own unique way. At Nokia, we've discovered that technology can be inspired with a human touch, which is why for every hand, there's a Nokia. Nokia, connecting people.
I want you to scream. Ah! Mrs. Whitman? Ah! Where's the money? I'm scared. Everyone, let's encourage Jimmy to unleash the beast within. Very good. I think we've had a breakthrough.
Attention, folks. We need to flight the plane. Any volunteers?
A whole lot can happen out of the blue. The backward.
7 and 8 years ago, Canada used the World League to qualify for the Olympics. We weren't allowed in it. A couple years later, had trouble, didn't qualify for the '96 Olympics. So if things carry on as they did in the past, this should be a good stepping stone for us for the Olympics. It's exciting. It's a dream come true. I remember watching those guys 7 years ago playing in the World League and thinking, in front of your friends, in front of your family, it's broadcast nationwide. It's just great exposure. I come in for 3 different players, so it's on and off 3 different times, so I never really have a chance to sit down and catch a breath, but gives hopefully the players a little breather, just to calm down, think about what they're doing, a different angle on what's going on in the game, and keeps me on the court. I like being a volleyball player.
And we're off and running for set number 3. Koski starts with a quick to David Cantor. Has to hit around the block, though, and hits out of bounds. A little bit wide, so 1-0 Brazil.
Pass on about the 3-meter line that time. Cantor's got to rotate just a little bit more.
So with a little more serve this time, they go to the quick again. Cantor isn't getting a heat on it, and it's dug up. Now the Brazilian captain tries to roll it over the block, but Gino Russo lets it back down. And that's 1-1.
That's how coaches tell us players have their eyes open. You know, it's very unnatural when you got a projectile coming at your face to keep your eyes open, but that's what you have to do with the block.
A little tip shot there by Nalbert, the veteran, the captain. And the Canadian blockers, of course, thinking swing, and he hits it over them for the point. Nice touch.
Canada's philosophy is that if they go over the block is so big that the defense should be able to move up and make it, but that time it was just positioned too well.
Al Douglas serving, the big guy. Gives him so much trouble. This time he floats it short. Koski goes short and quick to David Cantor. This time Cantor's approach was perfect, and he pounded it down for the skill.
It sure was, and we've talked about these players running their patterns. That time it wasn't a good pass, but Cantor goes And he has faith that Koski's going to get it to him, and he does.
Boy, Koski did a great job getting that to him, but Cantor follows up with a serving error. He's really had troubles in this match. First couple of sets, Cantor put a couple of them into the net. That, of course, gives Brazil a point. You can lose a point and have a service error and rally point scoring. 3-2 Brazil now. Bruce Edwards get the approach he wanted on that one. Nor did Giba get the approach on that one. And Giba for Brazil with a hitting error into the net. 3-3, Canada profiting from a Brazilian error.
But that was a good play from Edwards. Rather than swing away on a bad set, he just played a control hit, and Canada ended up getting the transition.
Paul Durden with a serve that sends the Brazilian passer to the floor. That's Joel hitting from the power side, goes down the line. Boy, he was just pounding the ball in the second set. He is really on his game, and the Brazilian setters know that. They'll probably feed him a lot. 4-3 Brazil. Goes outside. Edwards, Doug. Out there in the back row. Brazil gets it up. Edwards again. This time off the block and out of bounds. Point for Canada. 20-13 for Canada. Left area not very happy. Brazil is blocked once again. They can't dig it up. Even Big Douglas is blocked by Canada's wall in the middle. David Cantor was in on that one as well, I believe. 21-13.
Well, I'm sure these Brazilians think that David Cantor's arms are about 8 feet long right about now.
Dino Brusso back to serve. They go to Douglas. This time he gets it past the block. Koski gets a fist on it, but can't keep it up. But boy, the Brazilians may just be a little dispirited. You're right, 21-14. But here is where Canada has trouble closing out Brazil. We'll see what happens in these circumstances in set number 3. Outside they go. Edwards swinging. No touch at the net. No, you know, there was a touch at the net. It was a net violation by the Brazilian blockers. The referee says Brazil was on the net. Canada gets the point, 22-14. Brazil just talking to themselves right now, a little arguing, a little finger pointing.
Yeah, Gustavo's not happy about that. He just said there's no way I touched the net, but sometimes the jersey might just brush the net. The second referee is the down referee. He has the responsibility to call those violations.
Francois Bilodeau back into serve. He's a serving specialist. In the late going, another block by the Canadian front line. Haldane and Jordan, this time they can't keep it in the court. Point to Brazil, 22-15 for Canada.
That's called an X combination. The middleman comes in quick. The right side player comes around his left shoulder, tries to hit on the X.
Max back to serve. Great serve.
And referee's calling that ball down.
It looked like Bilodeau got a fist underneath it, but it obviously touched the floor, so the referee right there calling that as a point for Brazil, 22-16. Great serve by Max. Same kind of thing. This time Bilodeau passes it perfectly. Paul Durden swings perfectly right past Giba in the back corner. Another point for Canada, 23-16.
Interesting blocking combination from Brazil. They ran Gustavo on the outside that time, expecting Jordan to go down the line. He fooled him with a cross-court attack.
Jordan takes a little heat off that serve, and I thought that bit the back line, but the linesmen say no, it was out. Serving error, 23-17 now, Canada. Captain Albert back to serve. A serving error there as well as Canada leads 24-17. Bruce Edwards will be back to serve and try to close out this set. Canada won the first set, lost the second set in a marathon, 44-42, and now has a chance to win set number 3.
Rapentine's come in for Koski in the front row. Canada going with a big blocking wall.
Edwards serves. Max swinging from the back row, dug by Canada. Can they close it out here? Edwards will set Durden. Swing, dug by the Brazilians. Giba swing, and it's awesome block. And it is a point for Brazil. More talking under the net. This time, just I think some apologizing. 24-18.
Now all Canada has to do is just to convert one pass. That'll be the set.
Gustavo. Serving for Brazil. They're trailing 24-18, and it's long. Canada wins 25-18 in the third set, and the crowd eating this up.
If Brazil is playing volleyball anywhere in the world, you know there's going to be a party. When asked the Brazilian national coach what is the most popular sport in all of Brazil, he said volleyball. Someone said, what about soccer? Soccer is a religion, but volleyball is the most popular sport. Your name, ma'am?
Yes.
What's your name?
Sayonara.
Okay, goodbye to you too.
Yeah.
All right, sayonara. Teach me some kind of Brazilian dance that we can all do.
Sure, right now.
All right, what is this one called?
Samba.
That's called the samba. Can we get a tight, can you do it backwards too? Can you do that backwards? All right, a little samba. All right. All right, what is it about volleyball that everybody likes so much?
Yeah, so much. It's the most beautiful soccer and volleyball in Brazil is the best.
It's the best.
Yeah.
All right, and we're here in Canada having fun.
Here in Canada, Brazil is the best.
All right, everybody do the samba. Turn around. Hey!
Up next, Canada's coaching staff. Garth Fitchke's the boss, but Dave Preston's number 2. More about his duties when we come back on The Big Spike.
Attention, folks. We need to flight the plane. Any volunteers?
A whole lot can happen. Out of the blue. The backward. These hands have worked, created, played, and loved, each in their own unique way. At Nokia, we've discovered that technology can be inspired with a human touch, which is why for every hand, there's a Nokia. Nokia. Connecting people.
Anything you can do, I can do better. I can do anything better than you. No, you can't. Yes, I can. No, you can't. Yes, I can.
Had enough?
Let's go.
Anything you can be, I can be greater.
First stop.
Sooner or later, I'm greater than you. I'm not stopping. I'm not stopping. No, you can't. Yes, I can.
Attention, folks. We need to flight the plane. Any volunteers?
A whole lot can happen. Out of the blue. The backward.
The Win, world-class thoroughbred action. The place, Edmonton's Northlands Park. The show, the horses at Northlands Park on CTV Sportsnet. Join Roger Millions and our expert team of analysts as some of the best fillies in the biz tear up the track. Your best bet, the horses at Northlands Park. Get your mind racing. Tomorrow on CTV Sportsnet.
We're trying to put together as much information as possible. We do the research, we do the background stuff, we turn it over to Garth, and then together, collectively, we try and put together a game plan that we think will be successful against our opponent. At a competition, it's a lot of work behind the scenes. A lot of myself and the apprentice coach cut a lot of tape, look at a lot of previous matches that our opponents have played. Well, we're looking for specific stuff in terms of tendencies or patterns that we see, and anything that'll help us prepare our game plan. Other than that, it's trying to keep these guys organized and trying to keep everybody on an even keel. It varies from game to game depending on exactly what our game plan is, but I'm wired to another coach, so I get some information from a third source, and then I process that information and try and make any adjustments that we need to make as the match is going on. That either may enhance our game plan or that may deviate from our game plan.
Set number 4 is underway. Koski serving to start it up. And now Bear, the captain, is slammed at the net, and there's a little collision underneath, too, and now Bear stepped on David Cantor's ankle, and he comes up a little bit sore.
Well, Nalbert really drifts when he attacks the ball. And that ball was set very close to the net, so because he's not that big, he has to really drive into the net. Now he comes down underneath the net. Take a look at his footwork. See, he really pushes how much ground he covers. He comes down underneath the net with David Cantor.
Luckily, they wear those ankle braces, so Nalbert is able to continue. A little gingerly, but he is able to continue. Canada leads 1-0. Koski's been doing a great job with that serving down the side. Gustavo pounds it. Koski gets it up. Two swings for the big guy, and he is unable to score. Now the tip, but Scott Koski is there, and Canada able to bang it back over. Pretty much a free ball. What a great set that was by Mauricio, the veteran setter, running back for the back of the court, bump setting, and putting Nalbert on.
Yeah, that's the terrific court awareness. He knows where that ball has to go. Look at that, right on the money, off the hands and out of bounds. Perfect.
Couldn't have set him better with his hands if he was standing beside him. 1-1, Canada-Brazil, 4th set. He goes outside to Durden, but he is slammed by the setter, no less. Mauricio loves that. You see some celebration when the smallest guy in the court is able to get a block.
Well, every once in a while that's going to happen. Mauricio setting it up perfectly. Off the hands and down, but he's not celebrating the same as he did in the first match against Canada.
2-1 for Brazil as Max drills another serve. Koski takes a look. Durden is available and swings hard. Brazilians get a touch. Now a free ball for Canada. Oh, one-hand set. Cantor drills it, and the Brazilians can't dig it up. Nice little one-hand poke set by Scott Koski. Tough serve, but Haldane gets it up. Andy Zarowski with a looping hit. Brazilians dig it up, though. Nalbert scoops it from the back row, and it is just inside the line. What a clever hit by the captain.
Well, two great plays. First on the dig from Nalbert. Second on the attack, finding the open court. He has terrific court vision. Here it is right there. Look, he's just going down that line. Nobody there. Right to the deep court.
All right, then Nalbert set point 24-15. Make it 24-16 on the serving error. Canada has another life. But I think his 4th set is pretty much fait accompli, as we've said, and perhaps Garth Fishman looking ahead to the deciding 5th set. Have to have a little pep talk after this one, though. Here's Francois Bilodeau, the serve. And the Brazilians drill that on a quick set by Gustavo. So that is it for set number 4. Brazil wins it convincingly over Canada, 25-16. We're heading for a 5th and deciding set here in Hull.
Don't you dare go anywhere. This should be great. The 5th and deciding set, Canada and Brazil on CTV Sportsnet and Outdoor Life. Stick around.
Attention, folks. We need to land the plane. Any volunteers?
These hands have worked, created, played, and loved, each in their own unique way. At Nokia, we've discovered that technology can be inspired with a human touch, which is why for every hand, there's a Nokia. Nokia, connecting people.
What stands between you and your goal? Will you give into it? Or fight through it? Will you fear it? Or embrace it? Will you hold back? Or hold nothing back? When you need that little something extra, Will it be there? Gatorade helps provide energy to working muscles. Is it in you?
Attention, folks. We need to light the flame. Any volunteers?
A whole lot can happen. Out of the blue. The back blue.
Lots of great volleyball action coming your way this summer, both indoor and beach. And for more information on the sport, you can check out the Volleyball Canada website at www.volleyball.ca. Follow Canada's national team through the World League competitions. And keep watching it, of course, on The Big Spike, on CTV Sportsnet, and on Outdoor Life Network. The Summer Beach Tour may be coming to your town. Let's take a look at the schedule for the Labatt Blue Pro Beach Tour. Get out and enjoy some of the fun. Support the athletes.
The fifth and deciding set will go rally point to 15. No technical timeout. Coaches can call the timeout, but rally point to 15. So this will go quickly.
This will be about maybe 7 minutes of playing time in this rally point scoring system.
Canada and Brazil tied 2 sets each. Canada won the first one 26-24. The second one was a marathon won by Brazil 44-42. Then Canada 25-18. Then Brazil 25-16. And now first one to 15 points can claim the match. Paul Durden hits it off the block and it falls out of bounds. And again, Durden not hitting with the same steam we're used to seeing him hit with, but got the job done there. 1-0 Canada.
Well, he's got to elevate his game for this set to help Canada win this match.
Boy, Brazil goes outside for Max, and a little dig off the back of the elbow by Gino Brusso, but it can't stay in bounds. So Max does the job as well, and it's 1-1.
He is just a hitting machine. I can tell you, he just likes it anywhere, and he's a banger.
Especially from that right side, which Brazil tries to exploit as much as they can. Here's the captain, Albert. Back to serve. Haldane passes nicely. Back set, Durden. No smoke. Brazilians dig it up. And a little roll shot goes off the arm of David Cantor, and it's another point for Brazil, 2-1. Paul Durden's shoulders okay.
Well, I think he's probably fine. I think he's got to start getting some sets and really putting some snap on it.
2-1 Brazil. Rossi banged off the block, but Brazil's got it up. Max again, this time rolling. Canada digs it. Rossi with a blast off the chest of Max in the back row.
That's a beautiful line shot that time, and Max is so angry at himself. But you know, that was right over Mauricio. Good set. Look at it. Look at the daylight between the hand and the antenna. Not happy with that. Not happy at all.
2-2, Canada-Brazil. Cantor back to serve. Deep floater. Mauricio puts it up on that quick set, back set, and Gustavo bangs it off the block and it falls in.
Zarowski over to help Haldane that time, but it went off the block and on the hand.
Watch the reaction by Mauricio this time after the great set.
Very demonstrative player, really gets into the match.
3-2 for Brazil. The blocking signals. People in the front row. Zarowski with the tip, and a pancake dig by Brazil. They knock it over free ball, but great defense. And a bang by Haldane. He says somebody on the net. No, says the referee. Point to Brazil, 4-2.
Now, all the players and Coach Garth-Pischke out there asking the down referee about the touch on the net. Said it was obvious. How could you not see it? Please.
Referee Fernando Abarca from Mexico. And that ruling not pleasing Garth-Pischke. He strolls the sidelines. The team is down 4-2. So Rossi has to hit over the block again, and it goes long. Canada quickly down 5-2 to Brazil.
Now, Canada cannot afford to make more errors. Garth Fischke is very, very upset with that play.
Calls a timeout. Fischke wants to talk about it. Canada trailing by 3 in the 5th set. International volleyball on CTV Sportsnet and the Outdoor Life Network from the World League. Brought to you by Volleyball Canada. Check out their website at www.volleyball.ca. And join us all summer long on the Big Spike. The deciding 5th set. Each nation has won 2 sets. Rally points of 15. No mistakes allowed now. Putting Gino Brusso up there and off the block and out of bounds, but just out of bounds.
Well, Gino Brusso just swinging away freely there, hitting the ball high off the top of the hands. He's got so much power that ball ricochets 9 meters out of the back of the court.
Now Canada makes a substitution for blocking reasons. David Cantor back in. Haldane will serve. It's 13 all. Still have to win by 2. First one is 15. Oh, a service error at an inopportune time. Makes it 14-13 for Brazil.
Now
they can claim the match now.
Canada's got to be patient here. Passers have to step into the ball, give Koski the opportunity and all the options.
Brazil puts in a serving ace in Ricardo, serving for the match. Nicely passed by Zorowski. They go to Durden with a big swing, but Brazil's got it up. Now Max for the match. No! Slammed down by Gino Brusso. What a great block by Brusso here in his home province to keep Canada alive. It's 14 all.
Boy, that's a gutsy play from the Canadians. Still playing different volleyball, closing to the outside. Watch the block now. Mauricio in quickly. The block forms. Look at that turn back into the court.
This will be huge for Canada. It already is huge to stay with Brazil this long. Koski to serve, and there's a point for Brazil. Once again, same violation, right? Mauricio has the right to set the ball.
Exactly. But if that ball crosses the plane of the net, then the attacker can go after it. But if your hand crosses the plane of the net, or if you interfere with the setter, then it's a violation.
It was an overpass by Brazil. Canada trying to capitalize on it. Cantor went up to try to swing. Reached over the net a little too much. So 15-14, Brazil leads, and Max is back to serve for the match. A couple of substitutions here. He goes outside. Durden pounds it down. More heat from Paul Durden, and Nelbert just couldn't dig that ball.
Now it's a big, big cross-court attack. Both blockers were moving out to the right side to take the attack. Here it is pushed way outside. You see Gustavo moving. He's drifting a little bit too far past where he wanted to be. Overpowering offense.
Probably should have had that ball, but it's tied now, 15 all. There's a chance to go ahead if they can get a block here. Partial block dug up by the Canadians. Haldane from the back row. Pounds it down off the hand of Chiba. And the Brazilians are talking to each other. Canada's up 16-15. Listen to this crowd.
It's 1 point now. Canada has to be big and strong in the net. Defense has to be very, very mobile.
What a great swing by Haldane. And now Gino Brusso with the crowd roaring. No, Brazil calls a timeout. It's noisy in here. The Brazilian coach wants to talk about it. Canada leads 16-15 in the deciding 5th set. We hope you're enjoying top-caliber international men's volleyball from the World League as Canada takes on the best in the world. And keep following it on CTV Sportsnet and the Outdoor Life Network. And follow it through the website of Volleyball Canada at www.volleyball.ca. Getting crazy here in the Robert Gerstein Arena. Canada with a chance to win. Gino Brusso to serve. They go to Nelbert. And he pounds it off the block. The Canadians could not block that inbound, so it's tied up again. Brazil.
That is an outstanding gusty hit from Nelbert. He makes that play as if it's nothing, but I can tell you, at this point in the match, every hit, every swing is a nerve-wracking.
16 all. Problem on the pass. Durden still got something to work with though, but the Brazilians dig it up. Chiba
with a nice little cut shot. And it does the trick. Showed the big swing, cut it. Canada's down 17-16. What a smart play.
Good control from the Brazilians. It seems like they're impervious to the nerves. You know, they've been in this situation. They lost in 5 sets to Italy in the World Championships, and what everybody thought should have been the final, the semi-final match, but they've been here before.
Brazil serving for the match now. Zarowski with a good pass. Koski goes outside Durden again. It's done. And Brazil has to give 3 balls. Canada do with it. Koski in position. Durden again. They keep on going to the go-to guy that you talked about, Charles. And Paul Durden ties it up again. 17 all.
Yeah, good set selection that time. Got to go to Durden. He wants the ball in this case. You see the block is set for the cross-court attack.
Yeah, he changed his hit just at the last minute. Good thing he did. 17 all. Cantor serves it over. Makes a big block here. And they get it! Oh my! Jason Haldane was right there. And he read Ziba and shut him down. So Canada leads 18-17. Canada with 4 blocks to Brazil's none in this 5th and deciding set. And now the crowd heating up again as Cantor serves for the match. There it is! Paul Durden with the block, and Canada knocks off the mighty Brazil. Wow!
Unbelievable!
These hands have worked, created, played, and loved, each in their own unique way. At Nokia, we've discovered that technology can be inspired with a human touch, which is why for every hand, there's a Nokia. Nokia, connecting people.